Hi, and welcome to the first pre-recorded webinar about the ILM assessment portal. And this is for customers who submit unit assessments to us for marking. And a unit assessment relates to submitting one collection of learner evidence that's assessed against one particular ILM unit. Now we'll be learning here about how to upload and submit files to ILM via the portal, and there's a second session to explain how to use a feature on the portal called the tracker. So in this particular session, we'll have a look around. Bear in mind this is a demo site with some nonsensical dummy data, but your data will actually be live data. We'll then look at the unit assessment area and how you upload files to submit for marking. We'll then look at the pending section. This offers you an opportunity to put files into a queue before you actually submit them to us as a batch. So we'll go onto the site and we'll log in with the dummy username. Now when you first log on to the portal, your tracker section will be blank, and this will populate as you send information to us. Scroll down to the bottom and you'll notice in the footer some links. This will open up the guide to fees, where you can see all about ILM assessment products and the product codes. There's a link to help, legal terms, and the contact ILM link will open up an email to us. Back up to the top, if you hover over your username, you can change your password or log out. But for now, we're just going to go to unit assessment. Now when I call up unit assessment, it looks like I've retrieved an Excel spreadsheet with lots of rows and columns, and we'll explain these in more detail as we go on. Before we begin that though, let's just look at how we can change the screen. So you can actually zoom in and out by pressing Ctrl+ on Windows, Ctrl-. You can also hover over a column to expand it, but bear in mind if you do that, you may push over the columns to the far right like that. To get those back, press Ctrl-R to refresh and reload the screen. Now some columns you can hover over to see the full title, and some columns you will need to filter on if you really want to drill down. And that takes us into filter mode. So you've got a lot of information at your fingertips here, and using the portal is all about calling up what you need when you need it. So right information at the right time. For example, if I wanted to call up a particular learner under a particular unit, I might ask for that unit first of all. If I wanted to call up a unit ending in 251, I'd do that and click on filter. This would give me a list of all the learners whom I've registered already on Walled Garden against ILM qualifications, but it would pick out all the possible learners from within that who could submit against unit 8251. So you'll notice that information is coming back from Walled Garden after you've registered learners, but there are lots of rows. So you can see just in this drill down I've got 40 items, and you may have hundreds. So again, I may actually want to do a further filter to refine the information. So if I, for example, just search for a username entering some of the letters LI, I click on filter, and you can see it's called LI Lindsay, LI Lisa, and we've got LI in Olivia and in Melissa. I might want to make the search more precise. If I've got partial first name in the top box, always put the last name in the bottom. And here I've called up Lisa Simpson. I can go in and clear that by getting rid of the last name. So you can see how the filters works, and I recommend you have a look for yourselves and also look at the guide for more information. But if I wanted to select some of these learners to upload files on behalf of, I could simply click the All checkbox, or I could just click on one or two. So perhaps Lindsay Jones and Lisa Simpson. And after that, I'd click on Upload Files. This takes me to another screen, and I can zoom in to view in more detail. You can see I have Lindsay Jones here. Again, it tells me the qualification in the unit, and I have Lisa Simpson here. Now I might think to myself, well actually I didn't really want to upload files for both of these, so I'm going to remove one row. I'm going to remove the row for Lindsay. Now I'm not getting rid of her on the system, I'm just removing the upload. So I now have Lisa Simpson. And I'm going to select some files that I want to send to ILM on behalf of Lisa Simpson for marking. So click on Select Files and find them on your computer. Now, just for dummy purposes, I've called this mock evidence. And you can select a number of files at the same time if you want to. Please don't zip files, please send them as single files. A result sheet is another word for mark sheet, which you may have come across, and it's the same thing. It means the template you're sending ILM for marking. So I'm going to select the result sheet, and again this would have a different name. This is just a mock-up. And I'm going to click on Upload. So zoom back out. Having uploaded, I'm taken to the pending section. And you can see here that I have a number of columns again, but this time it's telling me that I have uploaded for Lisa and 2 others. And I'll just run through some of the columns with you. So the ID column occurs at pending stage, and this is a unique number given for this particular row. Again, you can see the qualification and name, and you can hover over. The registration expiry date is the date 36 months after your registration of this particular learner against a qualification, or the end of the qualification itself, whichever is the sooner. It follows the same business rules as walled garden. Now you can do a few checks before you actually submit some items to ILM for marking. You might want to check what the unit name is, so you could click on Unit to find out. Equally, you might want to have a check to see what files you uploaded. There are lots of ways you can do this, so you could click on Edit, and here you may decide you want to upload another file, so you could click on Select File and then you would upload it. If not, click on Cancel to come out. You may decide you actually want to download a copy of the evidence files you previously uploaded because you haven't saved any on your local machine and you actually want to, or your network. So I'm using Google Chrome, and on my settings I click once onto the evidence download button, and you can see here it's downloaded evidence for me and I can see it in my folder. Now it might be different if you use Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer. You might have to click and then save it to a location, or right click and save, but please experiment so that you understand what works best for you. This is the download for the result sheet, so you've got evidence, you can download result sheet, and you can go and edit. Now notice under Eric that the faded download result sheet icon appears, and that's because I haven't actually uploaded a result sheet for him, I forgot. So I could actually go back in, select the result sheet and upload it. Equally, if I've made a mistake, I could actually remove this particular upload from pending altogether and click on Delete. Again, it doesn't remove the learner from the system, it just removes the upload. Okay, so I'm ready now to send 2 items, and again I could click on All or click individually. I can either click on Submit, and that will just submit items very simply to ILM, or I could select Submit as Batch. This option allows you to give the collection of assessments a name. So if I just called this Test 2, confirm that I've checked the quality, and click on OK. And I'm told that my submission to ILM is successful. I'm then taken from pending to the tracker. So you can see back in pending I don't have anything now, but it's gone to the tracker. And all items I've recently submitted appear in blue. And we're going to come back at a different session and look at how to find these items and really understand how to use the tracker. So please join us for the next session. For now, if you log out, and please tune back in whenever you're able.